Hello and welcome to Pleiadian Teachings with Kerry Brown. So, I've got a couple of my favourite people in the room. I'm not showing them. I'm here because I'm stepping up into what it is that I know I am here to do, and I keep getting messages, and it's like the group that I connect with just keep pushing me, and it's like it's too uncomfortable not to do it now, and I know it feels right. So it's about me sharing messages from the Pleiadians and sharing that with the world. I like to bring humour into this setting. So even though spirituality and everything is a really deep, beautiful journey that I honour, I like to bring humour in as well, as you ladies know. And also just breaking down the spiritual barriers that you don't have to look or act a certain way to be connecting in on a deep level, that we can all do it. I am here exposing myself to the world that Kerry Brown is galactic. Ta-da! So, my blue, when I wear this, I feel very connected to the Pleiadians. So, anyone here in the room know about Pleiadians?
No.
And do you know where Pleiades is?
The star system, yep.
What
The
galaxy?
7 sisters. Milky Way.
Woo! Okay. So I have been connecting with the Pleiadians that live on Pleiades for about 10 years. But when they first started coming through, I didn't know where they were from. And that's when Francesca here, my co-host, came onto the scene. I drew a picture of her and then went and made her, and knew that she was coming through but didn't really know the messages that she was going to share with me. And then pretty much for the last 6 years I've been writing and receiving messages, but I know that it is a strong part of me, and you can have both. You can be connected here and be connected out with the star nations. And the thing that I've always really resonated with is the Lakota people, and I spent some time in America with them when I got a message from the Pleiadians that they guided me over there. And in Lakota culture, they view Pleiades as their original home. That's a piece from a Lakota chief. And so for me, it's really natural that we receive information and guidance from there the same way our cultures have for thousands of years. We just haven't really grown up with it in this day and age, that it's a part of who we are. So I really want to share that, and the teachings that have been coming through. Are you excited?
Yes.
Good answer. The teachings, what it seems to be, the theme, is that they were aware that we would come into this time and place that we're in now, and they've been with us the whole way, aware of what's going on for humanity, and aware of all the suffering and disconnection and everything that we've experienced for thousands of years. And they have knowledge and wisdom to share to help us with our daily suffering. I see that that there's so much suffering, even for the people with in Western society that are affluent, still have a suffering because of a disconnection to themselves and to all that there is. And so is there any questions in regards to that?
Not so far. No.
So there's plenty that you can read or get on the internet and check out, and there's different images that people have drawn for who they see when they're connecting with Pleiades. For me, this isn't a very big sketch, but I see them with big long heads and big long bodies, and they glide sort of when I see the movement, they glide across the room or the area that they're in. So I feel like a really big part of my path now is to share these insights to help with the suffering. And so the latest one, which is the one that I'll share tonight, is, so it's about that suffering and that we believe that it is normal to go off to work and feel pressured and go home and still feel pressured, and just to be in that, that you have to work hard and really struggle in order to prove that you're doing the best you can, or that you're putting 100% into your life. But in our DNA and our ability, we're actually designed that we can live in a more connected manner with each other. And also that we're actually wired to be able to live peacefully and actually in a more harmonious situation, which has happened for civilizations in the past with Atlantis and other lost civilizations. So we're stepping back into that vibration that they used to be in years ago. So like with the fifth dimension and beyond. So really, yeah, it's about that the information that I will bring through will give people a new awareness of what's possible. And I'm sure it's being spoken about by many in many different ways, because there's many people channeling the star nations. But the way that I deliver it will be another option for people that can resonate with the way that I deliver information. I used to think, before I connected with Pleiades, it was all very foreign to me, and I'd had a few people say to me that I was Pleiadian. They'd look and go, oh God, you know, we've got a Pleiadian here. And I'll be like, I don't resonate with that at all. So I understand for some people they won't resonate yet. And then there's others that are just really feeling drawn to it. And so I'm here for them as well. And for the others when they get to that. Yeah. So, what do you think? Got any questions?
How long has it been? When was it your first experience with connecting with them? How long ago?
So 10 years ago, but I feel like when I saw, growing up when I was little, I saw in the corner of Mum and Dad's bedroom this big bright star sort of thing come out of the corner of their bedroom, the doorway, one night. And then 10 years ago when I made Francesca, and then 6 years ago when I really started writing what they were bringing through. I was looking at a scrapbook today of all the times that I've written about the Pleiadians, but I never knew how I would get it out to the world. And it just felt scary. It was like revealing a part of myself that would freak people out or be too... I know that I've liked to stay approachable for people, and if you go too far out, sometimes you lose people with that. But the thing is, if you don't share it, you're losing the other people that resonate with it, that need to hear the message.
Yeah.
So it's time for that.
Yeah.
And during the healings that I do, I've met so many people that are feeling like a sense of, like where they may be lost, and when you connect them in with the star people that are coming through for them, they feel a sense of going home and sort of completeness, or these feelings that they had inside that they couldn't understand make sense. So that's it's beautiful to be a part of that. Just bring through some light language. So the light language, I can never remember actually how to even give a definition of that, but I'll just say this language comes through from Pleiades. So I'm just going to share some as I begin to go deep. Unoshimanai eritiare tu sereti shire tu sema. Ialona nai eritiare tu sia pushi amunai aretisema. Minare tetiaho. Minare tetiaho. Minare tetiaho. So Jill, would you like to ask a question about yourself or about humanity? Probably about humanity, like one of the causes of suffering, or
I guess I'm worried about rubbish on the planet, and can we handle it? Like all the plastic going into the earth is on my mind.
As humans become more aware of each other and loving one another and loving all things on the planet, as they become connected, they will be aware of the earth as being a living being, and they will start to become aware of the plants and communicate and understand that we're all one in the way that the native people have. So that's when things will change, and that's already beginning to change. The planet will be okay, but it's the humans and the animals and some of the different species of plants that would suffer if things don't change. But the earth will be okay. It's just the water source and the good food and just how that we would survive on the planet. But Mother Earth would be okay.
Okay.
But we believe that as humans awaken, as we go into the fifth dimension, that all will be okay. We see signs of the awakening happening. And with social media, the awakening happens with the masses. So that's where social media is very helpful. That's where one of your forms of technology will be helpful.
Yeah.
Any other question? Jill?
Is this one where?
So if we can keep it broad to humanity,
Okay.
like any of the themes that you see with adolescence or just whatever someone else could relate to.
Probably, is there a big clearing going on at this time?
We believe that you know the answer to that.
Okay.
Do you believe there is?
Yeah.
Do you feel it?
Yeah.
So what our message for you is to believe and trust in your intuition. So we know that you know that. So just continue to trust and believe in that you feel deeply about. Always being open to what else is going on and listening to other perspectives. But also knowing deep down what it is that you believe in and resonate with. Is our guidance for you. Thank you for your questions. Yvette, in your galactic blue, do you have a question?
I was to see in my work and in general a real increase in anxiety, not just in children but with adults as well. So my question is, are we seeing more of it because it is about to change, or is it getting worse, and what can we actually do to help people that we see that live with anxiety?
The chemicals that are in people's bodies are one of the main reasons for this. So as we go towards the organic, the awareness via the masses, via the social media and the masses, we will become more aware. There are large groups of people that are opposing the companies that have altered, that have modified the foods. So once again, there will be an awareness of our connection to all living beings and all that is. So our sustenance of how we treat our bodies will change. And when there's large groups of people that are suffering with anxiety, for example, that's when we start to look. We don't notice when there's only a few, but it's hit a high number now of people that are suffering from this. So people will take notice. Very much the anxiety is also due to the disconnection of the connection to the earth, the stars, all living beings, the connection to other humans, and our lack of honouring the cycles of the earth, of not dancing, of often not communicating. If we go back and look at the indigenous cultures, it's there that we find the answers for the future. So integrating the traditions from the indigenous people into our modern society is the way forward. And the indigenous people, such as the Lakota people, they communicated with the Pleiadians and they would receive guidance continually. So to pray and dance and listen and communicate with each other and come together with beautiful meals and just to be as one and to care for each other as brothers and sisters, that's the way forward. And as you feel into that way of life, you can understand why there's so much anxiety in the way that we live now. We're separate from the earth. Often people are just wearing shoes all the time. They may be in the city, on the concrete, on all the footpaths, and they don't connect in with the earth. So just that in itself, as we go back and introduce the indigenous ways, the anxiety will decrease. Does that answer? Do you have any other questions?
Is there a particular energy or theme around this year that people are working through or need to work through?
We know that you feel one of the things, or a couple. couple of things. So our role here is also, to challenge you to step up and trust in yourself. So what are the themes that you feel this year's about?
I think it's about being true to who you are and really listening to what you want to do and who you want to be and taking steps towards doing that.
We agree. I'll just see what other information is coming. Authenticity is a word that's been thrown around a lot. We see it popping up in social media and everywhere else. It seems to be the popular word. But it's very much about that. It's very much about stepping into who you are. We see wings of you flying when you all step into that. Because you've felt disconnected from each other, you fear what others will think of you. But as we step into the understanding that we're not separate, you will have more confidence to be who you truly are. But we know that you're going to be one of those people that steps out first so others will follow.
Okay.
Think you can handle that?
Sure. I'll do my best.
So we'd like to say that Kerry is an example of that right now. Any more questions?
I guess, is it going to do a full circle and people are going to stop using it, have their own connectedness, you know, if it's all about becoming more connected, will they need to use things like that? Is it going to change?
There will always be something that challenges people. There'll always be something there.
To escape? Why is it escape?
Well, and also to experiment, to have new experiences.
Okay.
But what I'm seeing, what's coming through, it's quite interesting. I've just got to say that sometimes I'm standing here as me, and then other times I'm talking as them. So I'm just flipping between. So you following okay?
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's me interpreting them, and then other times it's them talking through me.
When you say we,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's them.
Mm.
This
and
is,
you though.
Yeah.
well, they're
It's like-
telling me.
I know it feels like you're on board.
I am on board because I wouldn't
Yeah.
be
Because
sharing
you're
this. That's
saying
true.
we.
Yeah. I agree with you.
When you say
Yeah.
we, it
It's
feels
you
like
and them.
Yeah,
we're working together to bring this stuff through.
yeah, true. Oh God, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Mm.
Ooh. And I don't just listen to what someone else tells me to do and do it. I always have to connect in and check. So as I'm bringing stuff through, even if I'm talking as them, and I do it in the healings and everything that I do, I have to quickly monitor if it's what I believe in as well. So it's like this.
So does that
Doing
change?
all that.
Does that change their information slightly?
Well, the thing is, I resonate with them so much
Right.
that, yeah, I do feel like we're on the same team. So that's a really good
Yeah.
way that you explain.
I feel there's still a part of you that's with it, which is why you're chosen to be a channel. I still feel there's a dynamic, even if you are channeling something, that part of you, it's a combination. It's like alchemy.
Yeah.
But what I got is that I'm never to be someone that just brings something through. I'm always the curious, the questioner
Checking.
that checks in and resonates.
Is it checking for what was the word we used before?
Authenticity.
Yeah.
Or,
Is that what you're checking
yeah, and
for?
integrity for me, because I don't want to be sharing information that's misleading or that I don't resonate with.
And maybe incorrect. Or
Yeah,
knows?
and some people may disagree with what I resonate with, but at least I know that I do, because I don't read books and share information about that, really, because I don't retain it, because it's like I'm not meant to. I'm just meant to share what comes through. So you asked, what was the question when I said that about the
To
weed
do
and the ice?
with substance abuse. And
Okay, so with ice,
Right. The strange thing is, I was waiting for you to give me the answer because I feel like it is going to have there is going to be a change.
yeah, so what was coming through, what we were going to say, we're just still getting used to this. It's like driving a car and learning the gears and everything all at once and just checking in that the vehicles, driving down the road and we're navigating it okay. I'm just checking in with my navman. So with the ice situation, what we see is that there will always be something that's tempting or something that people want to experiment with or remove themselves or have a new experience. And once again, what's coming through is that it will be like the indigenous cultures have done. So with your plants, with your mushrooms and the ayahuasca, and you know, that's becoming more popular these days. So it feels like that there will be something for people to experiment with when they wish to have new experiences or even escape life. I see a lot of the ice, the people on ice, just all being taken out into nature.
Right.
I'm not sure what they're doing for them at the moment with that, but I know with many things, if you go into nature, that's where you'll heal. I just see a whole lot of people being tossed out like Survivor, just as in tossed out, as in left there to come up with their own ways and also to build their confidence, to see the amazing abilities they do have, and then integrating back into society or not from there. Or it may be that for some people that will be their way of living for the rest of their life, to live a simple life on the land.
Yeah, feels good.
Anything else? Put on your frame. Hold space for me, darling. In with a really small group.
Right.
And an aspect of me is there. Like I saw myself on a spaceship. Like there is a Pleiadian Kerry that's.
And that's you.
Yeah.
Right.
Like there's another me. I'm not quite sure how it works.
Is it a
Aspect of your soul, I guess.
Mm.
So, yeah, I've seen her and communicated with her. She looks different.
Right.
Her head's, she's more graceful from India. I'd just like to thank my audience here. Thanks for the questions. That was great.
Thanks.
And thanks for coming to my coming out ceremony. in my galactic blue. And thanks, Francesca. And thanks for watching.